All right, Mod Collection team, I am a huge fan of this one. Give yourself a pat on the back. First Frost is a certified winner in my book. Look at this thing. It reminds me a lot of like some Paisley Telecasters. But instead of seeing flowers or paisley underneath the finish, it's a much more subtle, understated design. And that's not exactly what they did here. Looks to me more like a sponge painting technique or something similar, but it's that blue and white, and then look very closely at the edge. It does indeed have a ghostly white snowy border to it, just to help pop the rest of that blue. Even against the white background, it's quite boisterous. And then check it out, we got that metallic blue back. And it's not like Pelham blue, it's a little bit frostier. All we're missing here is an icy white stinger. But you could make the argument that the pure mother-of-pearl Gibson logo fills in for that effect. And you know what? Zoom in here. I can't tell if my screen's dirty or do we actually have a sparkly black headstock. I think we actually do. On top of that, it appears this one got refretted because I'm not seeing the nibs. I know what you're thinking. How much is it? And is it already sold? It was a modest premium, $3,400. And okay, apparently I'm alone in liking it. It's still available at the time of recording. If anybody wants to use my forwarding service, I'll be happy to document it and then send it wherever you need it, United States or elsewhere. But our next one's a 58 Carina Explorer in Abracadabra. No premium associated with this one, but usually when we have a B-stock Carina, it's like $7,500. So I guess, is it technically a discount off a brand new price? No, it's the same, but you could get this exact guitar without the fancy finish for a lot less out of the demo shop. But it has this interesting bluish into black sparkle paint job. And it's not only on the top, but they did it on the back, and then look very closely, they also bursted the edges a little bit. We also have the uncovered golden humbuckers. Although I'm curious, do you think it would have looked better with a black guard? Through the power of video editing, you can tell me your opinion down in the comments. But not gonna lie, they kind of lost me here. Straight up black neck, kind of an odd choice. Maybe it's actually sparkly black in person and it looks nice, but in the photos, it just kind of makes me sad that we didn't burst it there. And then, ouch. As one of the crazy guys willing to pay 10 grand plus for select Gibson guitars, that is a fashion no. Like, our sparkly paint job is good. I'm talking about the Gibson logo over here. They did a decal when this model normally has pearl. I don't know what happened there. Had this not been on Gibson's actual website, I'd be questioning whether that was a Gibson finish or one of their guitars in general. Now, interestingly enough, they're calling this a Les Paul Standard 60s in Glassy Emerald. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure that's a Mary Ford model. It's either that or they just added the clear pick guard to an existing 60s standard. But not only the pick guard and the armrest, that's what I was trying to say. You know, that's actually fascinating being able to see that. I was trying to show you guys how that was bracketed to the guitar just like a normal pick guard, just with two of them during the review and demo of the Ford guitar. However, I would say there's no better way to view it than here. And the rest is green and black. Good color combination in my opinion. But note, it's a glossy top with a satin back. And the back appears to be kind of a bluish green black. And then they just didn't want to leave the headstock alone on this one either. Now, to be fair, I think this new decal looks a little better on this. But at the end of the day, if the model started life with a mother of pearl logo, Mod Collection team, please just leave it alone. You mess with it because now it's just looking like a fancified studio, which hurts people's willingness to pay premiums, based on my experience with the market anyway. But you know what? I'm just now noticing this. It's a satin headstock topper too. Now we're going to get our 339 on Aurumora. So a really fancy name for kind of a lightish golden hue. As far as 339s go, you don't have a lot of custom color options. So perhaps this one would speak to someone. I like how that Gibson sticker is just peeking out inside of the F-hole right there. But I guess I don't think I've ever seen one of these just with the speed knobs and the straight up golden hardware. It's a nice change of pace because a lot of times the 339 model has like a figured top and back, or it's a really nice plain top. You don't see just straight metallic everywhere. And oh man, nice stinger and the matching neck. They don't always do that for the semi-hollows. You can pat yourself on the back for that one too, Mr. Mod Collection guy. It is serial number 334. Ah, oh, man, so close. If that was just 5 digits later, that would have been a must-have. Someone's dreaming about oranges over here with a really in-your-face kind of fireball burst going on. Although it's highly accentuated the orangey burst here due to our name. But if you're looking closely, you can see that very slight darker maybe red. I don't know if black's the right term or not. Sometimes it looks darker than others, but it's got a thin edge to it is what I'm trying to say, with a very, very even flame top. But in how it differs from a different 50s or 60s standard is, look, this is a metallic red back, not just a cherry stained one. And oh, okay, some extra fun going on back here too, because that's not a black stinger. It's like it's kind of a reddish gold, dirty ebony, I guess you could say. It's got a little bit of metallic shine to it in and of itself. But notice how the stinger design encapsulates the entire headstock. Come back down here. You can see, normally it doesn't do that. It's just a little design here for the face only, not the edges. So now that I pointed that out, come over here, you can actually see it on the front. And you'll see that while you're playing on the other side too. Starting to remind me of the ladybugs they've been doing these past couple of weeks. But I think that's because the reflections of the tuners over here looking like little circles. But it looks like the whole headstock got that golden spray over. And check this out, we get a red silk screen with a slightly obscured mother of pearl logo. But now we've got the old Concord Mist. $1,800, that's one of the cheapest things we've seen in the mod collection in a while. Now to be fair, it's one of the baseline level studios of today, but you still get the binding on the neck. But it has a new satin purpley periwinkle-like color that they then pair with the more creamy style golden plastics, omitting your pick guard. And just to spice things up, more moto backplates. And the new colorway continues onto our back. It looks like it even encapsulates the face. Yes, indeed, we can confirm it. And nice, they upgrade you to the hardshell case. And in this photo, you can see it's got a little bit of blue, red, black, and the purple sparkles going on. They're getting into the Christmas season, I guess. Roasted chestnut offered at $33. Looks like your standard dark burst, but omitted pick guard, got black plastics otherwise. And then gilded it out as far as your hardware and pickup covers and even the metal knurled knobs are concerned. That's a nice top for one of these. I like the cross hatching to the wood grain. It works well with that color combination. However, that fretboard desperately wants condition. But the back is still as vibrant as ever. And outside of a tuner change going into gold, it's all of the regular stuff yet. But now the 330 gets some more love with off-road retro. That's right, I saved one of the good ones for the middle of the episode. So at first it just looks like it's black, then you got these red, orange, and yellow stripes. That's what I thought it was when I first clicked on it. But in getting closer, no, that's like a metallic dark maroon, and then they match your knobs with the stripes that they threw onto the top. Maybe even a little bit of purple in there. They upgraded everything to the golden hardware, left your pick guard alone. Looks like maybe there's even some blue flakes in here. I would have liked to have seen the stripes continued on to the edge and the back, but whatever. But there is one more fun thing on this one. Do you see it? Yeah, whoever did that one was very proud of their work. You must know it's about the mod collection, or maybe it's a reference to the off-road something, I don't know. But it looks like our headstock face is just the regular flat black, whereas everything else will maintain that sparkliness. I know we say it a lot in this show. This is one that would probably look better in person, and those splatter painted clear knobs are kind of cool. Oh, and can we take a second to appreciate this? They decided to paint inside the F-hole to match. Kind of a missed opportunity not to mask that off too. They even saved your life a little bit by installing one of the Vibramate systems on it. The mod collection guys must hate regular Bigsby's. Because what's interesting, if you think about it, maybe Gibson just supplies that because it's cheaper for them to buy the Vibram than have somebody go through, bend the strings, and install it properly. Or, one employee messes up and dings it right here. That might not be a, hey, we're being nice. That might be a, this actually saves us money in the long run business decision. But now we need to switch over to the EU mod collection side of things. They had the oriole. This doesn't look like the bird I'm familiar with. I suppose in a roundabout way, this nearly looks like the paisleys we were talking about earlier too. Just gotta squint a little bit. Reminds me of like some Splatoon stuff if your kids are into that game. Or it reminds me of like a grandma's doilies or something. It's unique. I'll just leave it at that. Maybe a little bit of camo. What it does really well is it makes the flat black stand out exponentially. Like this looks fake, like some sort of a Photoshop mock-up job. And not just the edge, but the back too. And then our headstock appears to have lost its Les Paul model silkscreen, but I thought I was seeing that. Okay, I might not enjoy the design, but I love the fact that they took the time to dress up the mod collection decal to be similar. They're just missing the black spots, but they're probably scared it would disappear into the black finish. I'd like to see the design continued onto the fretboard, just mask off the inlays. And if anybody understands understands this color scheme better. I guess when I think of an oriole, I think of the more orange ones over here, but I suppose white, yellow, black, I guess there are different kinds of orioles out there. Darn baseball teams. Over on the old Instagram page, that was definitely their favorite this week. They got a couple of fancy shots, and in fact, it looks like there's a little bit of sparkle built into this as well. They're thinking spring over there, I guess. They got sparkling meadow, a full-on ES335 this time, and just a very light metallic green. I would say that's fairly tasteful, assuming you like green, that is, but it looks like they might have sprayed your knobs just as an additional bonus, maybe even the switch tip. It's kind of hard to tell, although they left the pick guard alone, but that would be cool. I'd love to see the mod collection start spraying pick guards. But bucking the trend. This thing gets the color even on the neck. Sometimes it feels like they do listen, but more realistically, they're probably looking at, hey, which ones of these sell the quickest? And speaking of the full process, looks like you also get a sparkly headstock, and it's ever so slightly tinted green. And at the time of recording, the demo shop did not update this week, so atomic sarsaparilla will be our last one. But hey, sparkly brown reminds you of a root beer, you know, something similar to the drinks. But don't get this wrong, it does indeed still have a slightly darker border to it. That's another one of those ones that's just going to blind you in the flesh. As far as SGs go, boring brown works well on them, so why not make it exciting brown? But okay, so far so good. We get the continuation of the burst pattern on the back. Looks like even on the heel. And there you go, also on the neck. A nice little bursted pattern. Certainly not the craziest we've ever seen, but a tasty way to end tonight's episode. All right, Troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed this week's recap. We'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.